Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Week 6 discussion board. In July of 1925, a major trial took place that would define a prominent debate that was taking place in American life and politics. That debate was the debate between the fundamentalists and the evolutionists, and that trial was the trial of John Scopes, also known as the Scopes monkey trial. Now, before we begin, it's important to remember that according to course guidelines, a historian must be dedicated to a reasoned and investigated reconstruction of the primary sources. Now, the trial itself was not meant to be a showdown between the two ideologies, the fundamentalists who believed that God created the earth in 6 days, and they would be and were represented by William Jennings Bryan, and the evolutionists who believed that the earth came about by natural processes, who would be represented by Clarence Darrow. But rather, it was to see if John Scopes, a high school teacher, math teacher, and football coach, had violated the Butler Act, a Tennessee law that required people to teach creationism in the public schools and not evolution. Or rather, it forbids the teaching of evolution. Now, Butler had accepted the ACLU's offer of financial support if he challenged the law. Throughout the process, this was a highly publicized case. It was reported on in multiple newspapers. The New York Times on the opening day of the case had article after article detailing who was involved, where it was, what the issue was. And people flocked to Dayton, Tennessee, where the trial would take place. A carnival atmosphere appeared outside the courthouse. People played games, they laughed, they talked, they socialized, they walked around, all over the place. Within the trial room, within the courtroom rather, so many people came in that the upstairs courtroom cracked, according to the article Exploring the Scopes Monkey Trial in Dayton, Tennessee, a guide to people and places. As a result of this crack, the proceedings of the trial had to be moved outside. Now, throughout the course of the trial, it would be very standard objections, presenting of witnesses. However, the defining moment came when Clarence Darrow, the defense attorney, and the representative of the evolutionists called William Jennings Bryan, the prosecuting attorney and the defender of the fundamentalist, to the stand, and in which he challenged his beliefs. He challenged his belief in creationism, and at one point he asked Bryan if the earth was created in 6 literal days, to which Bryan said he wasn't convinced that it was 6 literal days, but it could have been a longer period of time. Darrow followed up and asked him if it could have been millions of years, and it was. Now, even though the trial was not meant to be a showdown between these two sides, that's how the two sides viewed it, that's how the media viewed it, and that's how the public viewed it. And in fact, the media, at the close of it, mocked Bryan. An English newspaper is reported saying that Bryan would believe that Jonah swallowed the whale, if the Bible said so, and they meant this mockingly. They meant this to portray Bryan, the Christian fundamentalist, as a Bible-thumping, archaic individual, and thus portraying all Christian fundamentalists as this. They portrayed Darrow and all evolutionists as scientific, facts-minded individuals who were looking for truth. As a result, we would see a greater secularization in our society, and in our academics. After the trial, Scopes would be fined because Darrow asked the jury to declare him guilty as charged, thus avoiding Bryan's cross-examination of him after Darrow examined Bryan. But he would be charged and acquitted later on. But what we see here is that many people became uncertain about the authority of the Bible in scientific matters. And as stated before, a secularization of the society in their morals, in academics, in life. We deal with this to this day. We have this debate to this day in political spheres, at home. People debate over the dinner table whether or not it was creation or evolution. They debated in politics. They debated everywhere. Even in churches, they're having this discussion. And ultimately, we will continue to have this discussion. And it will be interesting to see where it goes. Thank you for watching.